Well, they said that you is the new Granby. I don't know what they said. I forgot. I can't hear you. Oh, whoa, what they said was that he's the new manager. That was it, the new manager of the baseball team here. Yes! And I was surprised, but you need to tell me about this baseball team. You need to tell me about the players.
Well, we have several really good players. We got them from the minor league farm, and they're really
outstanding. Forget that. Who's on first?
No, who's on first?
Yeah, that's what I said. Who's on first? Who? Abbott, who's on first?
Who? Who is on first?
Who? Who's on first?
No, who's on second?
No. Forget first. Who's the player on second?
I don't know.
What kind of manager are you?
I don't know.
All right. We need to get this talent show going.
Okay. Who's on first? Okay. Costello, where were you this morning? You had a date with me to go duck hunting at daybreak. What did you do, oversleep?
I was just too tired, Abbott. I went hunting last night at the inn at Silver Creek.
That's ridiculous. I didn't think you knew anything about hunting.
Oh, no? One time I shot a bear in the foot and knocked out all his teeth.
How could you knock out a bear's teeth if you shot him in the foot?
Well, he was biting his toenails.
Oh, Costello, you should be ashamed of yourself. How could you have the nerve to stand up in front of all these intelligent audience and tell a terrible joke like that?
Well, I happen to like that joke, Abbott. In fact, I like it so well, I think I'm going to tell it again.
No, not that. Why aren't you wearing your Spanish costume? Do you realize that tonight you and I are invited to the Latin American Embassy? The ambassador asked us to come over and help him cement friendly relations.
Cement friendly relations? Not me, Abbott. That's what got my Uncle Louis 20 years in Alcatraz.
Oh, speaking of cement, do you know what they use cement for to prevent landslides?
Landslides? Isn't that our first act with Craig and Linda White from Chapter A? And they're singing a duet called Landslides.
Hello, everyone.
Damn, it's hot in here.
Is he standing by me?
That was called ad-lib.
it down. Climbed the mountain and I turned around. I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills, and landslide brought me down. A mirror in the sky, what is love? And the child within my heart rise above. Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? I don't know. I don't know. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. Time gets me older, then get older, I'm getting older too. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. Time makes me older, children get older, I'm getting older too. I'm getting older too. Oh, take my love, take it down. Climb the mountain and I turn around. If you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, when the land, I can't read. If you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, then the landslide will bring it down. Oh, the landslide will bring it down.
I'm a fireman, brave and bold. I'm always on the alert. I put out fires with my water pistol because I am a little squirt.
Costello, do you realize we are working in a firehouse? What's the idea of coming in here late?
I couldn't help it, Abbott. Remember the fire we went to last night and you told me to take pictures with my camera?
Yes, what about it?
Well, when the fire truck went around the corner, I fell over backwards and swallowed the camera.
Why would that make you late?
Well, I had to sit up all last night in a dark room to see what developed.
Look, Costello, Costello, there's going to be no nonsense around this firehouse. For your information, I have just been appointed captain.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I bought you a present. And here it is. It's a beautiful fire extinguisher, guaranteed to last 200 years.
200 years? I don't expect to live that long.
Well, where you're going, you can take it with you.
Now there you go. What kind of a fireman are you? Do you realize this is Save a Life Week?
Sure I do. I saved a life this week. I did my share yesterday.
Who did you save?
I had a date with 2 girls, and I saved one for tonight.
I thought so. You're in no condition to save anybody. Just look at your stomach.
What's the matter with my stomach? What's the matter with my stomach?
You ought to diet.
Why should I diet? I like the color it is now.
Oh man, I'm not talking about the color.
I'm proud of my stomach, Abbott. Every day I lie out in the backyard and I let the sun shine on my stomach.
What's the big idea?
Well, it always makes me feel good. I like to see a nice pot roast.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Just look at the size of you.
What are you talking about? I only weigh 98 pounds.
98 pounds? Well, you dummy, you're 60 inches around the waist.
Yes, but I'm hollow.
Are you crazy, Costello? I think you're about as crazy as our next act. And our next act will be Dory!
My dress is out of style already, wouldn't you say so? You know, I was late getting into the Silver Creek Inn place, and I best be careful I don't fall down. Let me just move down over there. Alrighty then. Anyway, I was late getting in tonight, and them security fellers, they frisked me at the door. It was so fun, I turned around and came back in again. Y'all think I'm just kind of like the fellers, don't you? Well, I do. You know, my name's Dory Pearl. I think y'all remember my cousin Minnie Pearl. Didn't y'all remember her? She was the gal of country, wasn't she? Now, she has some accolades behind her I want to just share with you, okay? So, she was a member of the Grand Ole Opry there in Tennessee for 50 years. And she got inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1975 when she was 63 years old. She was kind of an old lady, but she hung out there, and God bless her soul. She left us and went to be with our Heavenly Daddy upstairs when she was 83 years old, about 13 years ago. But you know what? On her deathbed, she said, Dory, I want you to have my hat. And back in the day, it was $1.98. There's no replacing that kind of price these days. It's still $1.98. I got my cousin Minnie's hat, and I'm so proud. Now, y'all may not know this, but Cousin Minnie and all of our family, we all come from this place called Grinder Switch in Tennessee. Now, Grinder Switch is about 60 miles southwest of Nashville. And y'all know where Nashville's at? All right, well now things kind of move slow in Grinder Switch. So slow that they're just pretty well relaxed around there. They don't get old, they just get relaxed. So relaxed, kind of like the elastic on one of them old girdles. Also, there's some rumor going around that Grinder Switch that says, I've been kissing all them fellers. Well, you know, I ain't got time for that. But I'm kind of liking the rumor. Now that old cousin Minnie, she was kind of an old loving country girl too, and she taught me to be a love-struck country girl too. Now, I had a guy come by me a couple days ago, and he told me that I look like a breath of spring. Well, really, what he said was that I looked like kind of like the end of a hard winter. Yeah, isn't that crazy? You tell me I look like I got a funny look, do ya? No, you're just telling me that I look funny. Is that it? Yeah, okay. Well, that's all right, because I like you anyway. You know what? There was this construction guy the other day. He was working on this wall, and he had this thing. He was going around with it and putting it up against the wall, and this little light was flashing. I said, "Mister, what are you doing?" And he said, "I'm looking for studs with my stud finder." Yeah. I said, "Hey, can I borrow that for the weekend?" Yeah. He said, "No, lady, that's crazy. You can find those kind of studs like that." Anyway, there was this old husband and a wife. There's a lot of husbands and wives out here. And this old husband, he's sitting in the morning at the breakfast table having coffee with the bride of many years. He was looking at the stocks in the morning edition, and she was saying, "Honey, I just been following this new diet plan, and I just can't lose the weight. It's just not working." And he put down the paper and he said, "Honey, you know, you are the only investment that I've ever made that's doubled." You know, doubled. Yeah, there's more to love on, you know. She probably was, you know, a love-struck country girl too in her younger days before she captured that man. Yeah. Anyway, are y'all having a good time? Yeah, I'm just so proud to be here with y'all. Anyway, there was this young boy, and he went to Sunday school, and he come home, and he tells his mama, "Mama, did you know back in them Bible days they had Honda cars?" And the mom said, "Son, now where'd you ever learn something like that?" And he said, "Well, my Sunday school said that them guys back in the Bible said, when we all go, we'll all go in one accord." You get it? Yeah. Oh my. Anyway, back to the Bible school. The young man, every year there was this revival going on down there at Grinders Switch, and the families all took turns feeding the preachers at night, right? And so tonight was the night for the preacher to go to this one house, and he didn't know where to drive his car to. He just didn't know where they lived. So they said, "You know what? We're going to send our son with you, and he's going to help you get to our house." So they're driving, preacher's driving. Young fella's next door here to see him. He says to the preacher, "I bet you don't know what we're having for supper." And the preacher just says, "I bet we're having chicken." And the young man says, "Nope, we're having buzzard." And the preacher says, "Now, son, how do you know we're having buzzard?" "Well, because just this morning, Mama and Papa said, we got to have the old buzzard over for dinner sometime this week, so it might as well be tonight." Now, that same young man, he sometimes got himself in some trouble. And his mama said, "You misbehave one more time, son, and I'm going to give you a whooping." Well, guess what? That young man, he did misbehave again. So, Mama kept to her promise, and she pulled down his britches, and she gave him one good whooping. Well, that little boy, he went running upstairs. He was hurt. You know what I mean? He got up to his mama's room, and he pulled down his drawers, and he looked at her long mirror. He turned around, he looked, he says, he went running back downstairs. He says, "Mama, I hope you're happy now because you cracked it." best be careful about that. Alrighty then. You know what? This cowboy, he went on down the road and he bought him a dachshund doggy. You know why he went and bought him a dachshund? Why? Because the other guy says, "Cowboy, why don't you go get a long little doggy?" Alright. Yeah. If it ain't the truth, it ought to be, right? Oh my. Hey guys, how much more time do I have tonight? Alrighty then. Well, you ready for more? Well, there's something called football out there that some folks like, right? I see there's some boys over there, girls that like football. Well, you know what? These old geezers, country boys, they've never been to a football game before. So they're out there and they're watching it and they're watching it, and pretty soon it's over and the one guy says to the other guy, "So, what'd you think of that football game?" He says, "Well, I don't know, that sure was a lot of fussing over 25 cents. And the other guy says, "What do you mean?" "Well, they kept saying, 'Get the quarterback, get the quarterback.'" Get the quarterback. 2 cents for a day? Yeah. All right, well, we'll start to wind down things here now because I know y'all got some other friends you want to see up here tonight. So anyway, there was this couple who was out traveling, and they could not remember the name of the town that they were in, that they stopped in to spend the night. They just couldn't remember the name of the town. They couldn't find it on the map. They didn't see it anywhere. They went out to supper. They said, "We're going to go out to supper, and we'll figure it out," right? Well, they ordered their food, and when the waitress brings the food to them, they said, "Waitress, where are we?" And she said, and they said to her, "Please say it slowly so we can really understand." And she said, "Well, folks, you are at the Dairy Queen." Okay, y'all didn't get that. They thought they were, "Where are we?" like in a town, and she was, "Well, we were sitting here in this restaurant called the Dairy Queen." I know y'all know that place. Okay, so there's this trucker guy who goes to the truck stop for his supper, and he gets in and he orders from the waitress. He ordered a cup of coffee, a hamburger, and a piece of pie. So, while the foods are cooking, in walk 3 burly big guys with leather on, and all these tattoos and all this stuff, you know. And, you know, he's just sitting there reading his paper. Pretty soon his food comes. Well, up walks this one big burly biker-looking dude in a black leather thing and takes a cup of coffee. The other guy in the black vest comes up and takes his hamburger. And the other guy comes up and says, and just takes it, doesn't say nothing, takes his piece of pie. Well, the trucker got up and went up and paid his bill and left. You know what happened after that? The waitress came over, and these 3 black guys in black vests, actually they weren't black guys, they were guys in black vests. And, whoa! And they said to this waitress, "Boy, he wasn't much of a man, was he?" I don't know what they was expecting him to do, but they said he wasn't much of a man. And you know what she said to him? "You know, he ain't much of a driver either. He just went out there and ran over 3 motorcycles with his big truck." Oh, I hope y'all are just having a good evening. I'm just so proud to be friends with you guys. I hope I can be your friends anyway. I'll see y'all later. Bye!
This microphone is too tall. The big circus just came to town, and I've been out watching the parade. What a parade. First came the elephants, and then after them came the clowns, and then after the clowns came beautiful Lady Godiva on a big white horse.
What came after Lady Godiva?
Me and every soldier in Colorado.
Costello, aren't you a little old to be following parades?
Oh, not me, Abbott. I'm crazy about parades. I love those big elephants. Some people like to be firemen and squirt water through their hose, but I like to be an elephant and squirt water through my nose.
Never mind the circus. We have other things to do.
But I can't forget about the circus, Abbott. I come from a family of circus people. My Uncle Rollo was the world's greatest tightrope walker until he broke his neck.
How did he break his neck?
Well, one night, he was tight and the rope wasn't. Then I had another uncle who was 6 feet tall. He used to stick his head in the lion's mouth.
And what do they call him?
Well, they call him Shorty now.
Okay, Costello, I've heard enough. Let's change the subject.
Abbott, you've been talking about the happiest days of my life. What fun I used to have at the sideshow. I used to tickle the tattoo lady with a feather.
You tickled the tattoo lady. What for?
To see the moving pictures. But she had to leave the circus, Abbott.
You mean the tattoo lady quit?
No, she had a facelift and it threw all the pictures out of focus.
Costello!
That's worse.
Don't try to kid me. I don't believe you were ever near a circus.
Oh no. Here, look at this picture of me with a Ubangi girl.
Wait a minute. I see the Ubangi girl, but I don't see you.
I'm sitting under the shade of her lip.
Look, Costello, just what did you do at the circus?
Well, I used to train wild zebras.
You train zebras. Don't make me laugh. You don't even know what a zebra looks like.
Who don't? A zebra is a black horse with Venetian blinds.
Did you ride on the zebra when you were training it?
Yes, I did. And our next act, Barb Pond's Region F expresses how I felt with her song called Riding on the Wing and a Prayer.
I'm a little taller than they are. Just a smidge. Man, there's a lot of you out there. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, we're all here because we like to ride our wings, right? I sure like to ride mine. And I don't know why, I'm nervous as heck right now.
Strange guitar.
What?
Strange guitar.
It's a strange guitar, yep, that's right.
How strange is it?
This guitar is so strange. And actually this song isn't funny at all. It's not meant to be funny. It's meant to express how we feel when we're out on the road. And I'm sure that you'll probably relate. And I'm gonna breathe. I got the throttle open, there's lots of road ahead. I could go through the mountains or up the coast instead. The planes are calling to me in a day or two, I'll be there. Oh yeah. Across the Mississippi, up into Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Nebraska, maybe South Dakota. So many roads to travel, there's nothing that can compare. To riding on my wing, riding on my wing in a prayer. Riding journey. It's a two-wheel affair when I'm riding on my way, riding on my way in a prayer. Yes, I'm riding, gliding. It feels like I'm flying when I'm riding on my way. I just went completely blank. I'll vamp till I'm ready. Okay, here we go. It's not the destination, it's not the path you take. It's just the journey and the memories and friends you make. No matter where you go, there's family and laughter to share. You know, I can't recall the last time I felt so free. When I'm not riding, well, this feeling washes over me. There's nothing that can compare to riding on my wing, riding on my wing in a prayer. I'm riding on my wing in a prayer. Doesn't matter how far, doesn't even matter where. It's a spiritual journey, it's a two-wheel affair. When I'm riding on my wing, riding on my wing in a prayer. Doesn't matter how far, doesn't even matter where. It's a spiritual journey, it's a two-wheel affair. When I'm riding on my wing, riding on my wing in a prayer. Yes, I'm riding on my wing in a prayer. I got the throttle open, riding on my wing in a prayer.
Barbara, point that ring to Madison, Wisconsin.
Yes, ma'am. We're right behind her.
Almost. You got a real shorty there. Do that again. Oh, what's the matter with you, Costello? You look terrible. Didn't you sleep well last night?
No, not very well, Abbott. You see, I had 4 pig's feet and a big meatball for supper.
You ate 4 pig's feet, a big meatball, and then you went to bed?
Yeah, as soon as I got to sleep, them pig's feet started playing soccer game with that meatball.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, I didn't mind the pigs kicking the meatball around, but they was using my ribs as goalposts.
By the way, Costello, how's your brother Ronnie?
He's fine. My mother had to take him to school today.
Costello, that's ridiculous. Your brother Ronnie's 18 years old. Why does your mother have to carry him to school?
Well, when Ronnie grows up, he wants to be a mailman.
A mailman?
Yeah. My mom wants him to get all the rest he can now.
Costello, doesn't anyone in your family have any consideration for your mother?
Sure, my father is very good to her. On Mother's Day, he put a rose in her lunch pail.
Tell me, Costello, is your mother the only one in your family that works?
No. My Uncle Louie works in an apple orchard.
What would that shiftless, lazy loafer Louie do in an apple orchard?
Well, he makes cider in the fall, bottles it in the spring, and drinks it in the summer, and sleeps all winter long.
Costello, your folks should try to be more like the Abbotts.
What's so good about the Abbotts?
Well, yesterday my grandfather reached the ripe old age of 97. Isn't that wonderful?
What's so wonderful about that? Look how long it took him to get there.
Well, Costello, your family has nothing to brag about.
Oh, no? Well, my Aunt Ida and Uncle Mike have been married for 20 years, and she's still in love with him. But it's got my Uncle Mike worried.
Well, what's he worried about?
Well, he don't know who she's in love with.
You shouldn't talk about that way about your Aunt Ida. Her son, little Vinny, loves you.
Oh, yeah, poor little Vinny. He was about 6 months old when he disappeared, and they found him a year later. He was 8 inches high and 2 feet wide.
8 inches high and 2 feet wide. Where did they find him?
They found him under the refrigerator.
Who found him?
Well, it was my Aunt Aspirin Costello.
Why do they call her Aspirin?
Because she got rid of my Uncle Jake, and boy, was he a headache.
When they split up, what happened to the 3 children?
Well, Gillespie was studying to be a racketeer, and Mabel wants to be a chorus girl.
And what happened to Willie?
Oh, they had to shoot Willie. He wanted to go to college.
That's ridiculous. Your Uncle Mike wouldn't shoot anybody.
Yes, he would. He took a shot at me once.
How did that happen?
Well, I was kissing my girl goodnight out in his driveway.
And he took a shot at you?
Yep, he thought somebody was siphoning his gas.
Oh, maybe you shouldn't hang around with your Uncle Mike too much and spend more time with your friends.
Hey, that's a great idea. We could see how it's done with our next act, Chapter L, doing date night with friends.
Pass it on.
Costello, where have you been? I haven't seen you all week.
I've been moving, Abbott. I bought a house way out in the country. It's about a mile from Uncle Louie's place. What a beautiful ranch, Abbott. I call it the Lumbago Ranch.
Lumbago Ranch. Why did you call it Lumbago Ranch?
Because it's got a little creek in the back.
Costello, you dummy! What do you want with a ranch?
I'm going to raise monkeys.
You bought a ranch to raise monkeys? You're a nut.
Well, what's better for a monkey than a nut? Here's a picture of my ranch.
So you bought yourself a new house. What condition is it in?
Wonderful condition. I just had it painted, and it didn't cost me 1 red cent. A doctor painted it for me.
A doctor painted it for you for nothing? How do you know it was a doctor?
Well, he signed his name on the roof in big red letters. Dr. Pepper.
Oh? Just a minute, Costello. Who sold you this house?
I got the house through a Mr. Crow.
Mr. Crow?
Yeah, in order to get the house, they told me I had to go through E.S. Crow.
That's escrow. That means you bought it through the bank. Does the bank have a lien on your house?
Does the bank have a what?
A lien on your house.
No, if the bank ever leaned on my house, it would fall down.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about a mortgage. Who holds the paper on your house?
Nobody. The paper's stuck on the wall with glue.
Oh, never mind that. What kind of a place did you buy? Do you have a patio?
Let's not get personal.
Costello, I mean a patio with a barbecue. I do all my cooking on the patio.
I knew you when you didn't have a patio.
Look, Costello, don't you know anything about your new house? Didn't you even inspect it?
Inspected for what?
For flaws. You might have had flaws in your house.
Of course I got flaws. What do you think I walk on, the ceiling?
Never mind that. What period is your house?
What period?
Yes, did you buy a period house?
No, I bought a house, period.
Costello, I'm trying to find out if your house is a Spanish or French or English.
Oh, well, it's an early American.
How do you know?
I found a couple of dead Indians in the cellar.
That surely would give you nightmares unless you listen to our next act. Fred Fisher, Chapter L, reading A Bedtime Story.
Come on, honey. Can you walk faster?
My tummy's a little upset, so I just came from the bathroom. I think some of you might remember my little sister, the gray goose, from last year. She asked me to come out here and do another little poem. So here goes. Last year, I think we did something about Cinderella and her sister uglies. This year, it's going to be a little different. We got Goldie Bear and the Three Locks. So, once a time upon, long before there were bedding tares, there lived in a far wood away the Bear Threes. There was the Bapa Pear, the Bama Mare, and the little Bearby Babe. Now this gramly of fizzlies hived lappily for a tong line. Weeping at doings, and a louse made out of hogs. Things were fine until one morning when they sat down to pour their eatage. You see, the Bapa Pear said, "My porridge is hoo tot." And the Mother Mare pasted her porridge and said, "This is har food tot." And the little Baby Bear said, "My porridge is head rot." Like a learnus. So the Bear Threes decided to go for a long woods in the walk and let their porridge pool. Well, no gooner had a swan. When there came a dot at the door of their log home. And you know who that was, right? Lollyglocks. And she was looking for a blusting race. So she went into that bear's home, and she found there were 3 pores of bolage, so she tasted them. Now the first was Hoo Tot, of course, and the second one was Hyping Pot, but the third was just bold. And Lollyglocks was Harry Bungry, so she poured all the each. But then she started to deal frowsy. So Lollyglocks climbed up the chaircase to the red brooms. When she got there were 3 biddle threads. Now the burst fed was Hoo Tard. The Beckett said was Sue Soft. So the right little fed was just bird. So she lay down and fell fast asleep. In fact, she snorted to snore. Well, just then the Breathaires came home to pour their checkage, and the Bapa Bear said, "Someone's been outing my eat meal." And the Mother Mare said, "Someone's been porridge my eatage." And the Bearable Babe said, "Hey, someone's been grampling my sinola." Well, the Bear Threes went up to their red brooms, and Bistro Mare said, "Someone's been bedding in my sleep." And the Mother Mare said, "Someone's been beeping in my sled." And the little Bearby Bed said, "Someone's been cruising in my snib, and there she is." Well, Goldie Bear took one look at those 3 locks, and she was dared to Seth, so she jumped up and wan all the hay home. So, Broys and Burls, the story of this moral is, it's not polite to eat and run, unless, of course, you're about to become the appetizer for a bungry hunch of ferocious frizzlies. Thank you.
When you sit at somebody else's table. Sit over here and
I'd love to do that. Costello, why do you always have to be late for the program? What's your excuse this time?
Well, you told me to turn the microphone. Okay. Well, you told me to feed the dogs before I left the house. I went to every butcher house in town and to find some hamburger. And with this shortage, I was lucky to find a few scraps of meat.
So, are the dogs fed?
Well, not exactly. I threw the meat up in the air.
And what happened?
I beat him to it.
Why, anybody would think you were starving. You got plenty to eat. Just look at the way you bulge out.
You mean my chest?
Do you call that a chest?
Sure, it just fools you because I'm carrying it so low.
Costello, why don't you work off some of that fat and lose that spare tire?
Are you crazy? Who can afford to lose a spare tire these days? Abbott, I'm in a lot of trouble. I was coming to the convention on my motorcycle and I drove right through a red light. Now they want to fine me $2,000.
$2,000? They can't fine you $2,000 for going through a red light.
Oh no, the light was in a drugstore window.
That's terrible.
And not only that, Abbott, they want to charge me $33.80 for cost.
What are the costs for?
Well, when my bike hit the drugstore, I sailed over the windshield, slid down the long soda fountain. En route, I picked up 4 milkshakes, 8 sandwiches, 2 hard-boiled eggs, 30 cents in tips, and wound up on the toothpaste counter between those 2 sisters, Lisa Capano and Barb Pons from Region F.
Sisters? They don't look like sisters to me.
But they're doing a duet for us called Sisters.
Well, it's a good thing you wore blue, otherwise I think we're twins. Do you think? I don't know.
Get it.
Hit it, baby, yeah. Gotta turn it up.
Here we go, honey. What do you say?
Sisters, sisters, there was ever such devoted sisters. Never had to have a chaperone, no sir. I'm here to keep my eye on her. Caring, sharing, every little thing that we are wearing. When a certain gentleman arrived from Rome, she wore the dress and I stayed home. All kinds of weather we stick together, same in the rain or sun. 2 different faces, but in tight places, we think and we act as one. Those who've seen us know that not a thing can come between us. Many men have tried to split us up, but no one can. Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord help the sister who comes between me and my man. All kinds of weather we stick together, same in the rain or sun. 2 different faces, but in tight places, we think and we act as one. Those who've seen us know that not a thing can come between us. Many men have tried to split us up, but no one can. Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord help the sister who comes between me and my man. Sisters, 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 don't you come between me and my man.
rich. I'm rich, Abbott. I'm a millionaire.
Calm down, Costello. What's all the yelling about? What do you mean you're a millionaire?
It's true. My Uncle Franco just died and left me all his money in his will.
You mean you're the beneficiary?
Who's that?
Beneficiary. Beneficiary is the man who gets the money.
Benny Fisher? He ain't gonna get any of this money. My uncle left the dough to me. How did Benny Fisher get into this deal? I'll take him to court. I'll sue him.
Costello, will you be quiet? Beneficiary means you are your uncle's heir.
My uncle's what?
Your uncle's heir. Heir. H-E-I-R.
My uncle didn't have any H-E-I-R. He was bald-headed. All he had was a mustache.
So what?
Well, my Uncle Franco was very proud of that mustache. Every morning he used to cover it with toothpaste.
Why did he cover his mustache with toothpaste?
So he could kiss his wife goodbye and brush her teeth at the same time.
This whole thing is ridiculous. For one thing, how do you know your uncle left you this money?
Well, I just got a telegram from my uncle's lawyer. It reads, "Dear Louis Costello, your Uncle Franco just died and left you $1 million. Thanks for the past favors." How do you like that, Abbott? I'm rich. I'm going to take everybody out and buy them a multi-milk.
A multi-milk?
Yeah, I'm a multi-millionaire.
Don't be crazy. And by the way, Costello, you never told me about Uncle Franco. Where did Uncle Franco live?
Oh, he lived in England. Everybody knew him. He used to walk around with a pocket full of shillings.
Shillings? No, pence.
Sure he had pence. What do you think? He walked around in his underwear?
No, never mind. Forget your uncle's underwear.
Don't you think that would be a little drafty?
Look, Costello, now that you've inherited $1 million, what are you going to do with the money?
Well, I'm going to use half of it to buy bonds, and with the other half, I'm going to buy a radio station.
You're going to buy a radio station. Are you out of your mind? You don't know anything about radio. You don't even know about electronics. You don't even know who discovered electricity.
Yes, I do. Mrs. Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity.
Mrs. Franklin? You mean Benjamin Franklin?
No. Mrs. Franklin. One day, she and her husband had a big argument, and she said to Benjamin, "Go fly a kite."
And do you know that Benjamin was really smart but had no sense about direction? So he tried to get Chapter A to help him with their skit. Which way do we go?
Make sure I have the screen correct. So when you hit that arrow, it goes. Tap that button.
Clean up after your skits.
We left it. She gave it us. Just look at me. Can we turn on the
Light switch.
We were sharing in the wealth. I was feeding Alvin for you.
We left it for Alvin.
Hey, I decided to buy one of them newfangled GPS gadgets to help us on our trip.
Oh man, that's really great. That's really great, man. I really wanted to see how one of those could work. Tell you what, since you've got it, why don't you take the lead?
All right, well, that's right.
I'm on and ready to go. Pause the video, please. I can't. I'm helpless. What do you want to do?
I guess I better change that voice.
Where do you want to go?
Start the video.
Proceed to the highlighted route. Turn left at CR 35. Continue on this road for 1.2 miles.
Hey, this road sure is bumpy.
Just a little. I like that new dashboard in my bike.
Nice mirror.
Good payload, too. Carries big speakers. Wow, it's foggy out.
Turn right in 153.5 feet at Frontier.
Oh. I think we should, I think we go left instead. I think it's quicker.
Turn right now.
Okay, we'll turn left.
Recalculating your route.
Uh-oh.
Make a U-turn as soon as possible. Thank you. Make your next right. You rode through that stop sign. This isn't California, you know. Keep your hands clear, I can see them.
I heard that.
I don't want to do just a straight road. Oh, a curve. Let's see. Keep breathing. I thought you were gold wingers. Where's the twisties? I thought you were riding your Goldwing to have fun. This is boring. I wonder where they're going. It's got to be more fun than this. The only lean you've done is what you did at that U-turn back there. Hello?
Hey, Jim, I think we need to make another U-turn up here.
Let's do it, Craig. I got you.
You want to turn around and follow that car?
Or that one. We need to clean the windshield.
Turn left at Smoky. Oh. It's coming up here somewhere.
There it is.
No, that's a right.
Whee! Now
Dairy Queen.
You never do what I tell you to do.
Sorry.
You do what you want to, and you don't listen to me.
Sorry.
You bought me for nothing.
Uh-huh.
Turn right at Smokey.
Okay, I promise. Jim, secure the right lane. Oh, never mind, there isn't one. Grab the emergency lane, screw it.
But Craig is driving. You never know what we're going to end up.
Somewhere. Hey, we finally found the highway. And this skid is over. Put up, I've never seen so much popcorn on a highway. Where's that short fella at? All right, Chapter 8's torture is over.
Push the power button twice. One more time.
Next. Now, before I get you guys get jump rope. Ready?
Costello, stop yelling. Why are you walking so funny?
I've been robbed.
Robbed?
Yeah, I've been over to tie my shoelaces and somebody jacked me up and stole my rubber heels.
That's terrible. It sounds like the work of a thieving thug.
Who?
You said it. A thieving thug.
Oh, you said it.
Never mind that, Costello. I've been waiting here for 3 hours. Where have you been? What kept you?
Abbott, the worst thing happened to me. I just got a dog from the dog pound, and he took a big bite out of me.
Where did he bite you?
Well, if I'd been wearing a license plate, he would have got the last 3 numbers.
Where did this happen?
Oh, it happened on a crowded bus. It was the first time I ever gave my seat to a dog.
Never mind that. What kind of a dog is it?
Well, do you remember that famous dog, Strongheart?
Yes, I remember Strongheart.
Well, this is his brother, Weak Stomach.
No, I'm not talking about that. What is the dog's breed?
What is his breed?
Yes.
He breathes through his nose like everybody else.
No, you dummy. What type of dog is he? A Spitz?
No, he just drools a little.
Look, there are different types of dogs, such as setters and pointers.
Yeah, but that's what he is. He's a setter pointer.
A setter pointer?
Yeah, he sits all day and points at the refrigerator.
Costello, I think the audience has just about had enough of us.
Yeah, I agree.
And now...
The next act needs the podium, please.
Oh.
Just a moment, please.
Oh, okay.
And now, direct from Hollywood via Montrose, Colorado, Chapter Q, here to present the nominees for the Best Performance by an Actor or Actress in a Drama, Musical, Lobotomy, or Occupying Wall Street is the 3-time Goldie Award-winning director, Miss Virginia Spaven.
Thank you all so much. It's lovely to be here and see all of you folks in Colorado. I just flew in from LA. I didn't have time to see the rest of the talent, but I did have just a few moments to go to the Judy Williams hair salon and spa. We're here to talk about the Goldies, and this little guy knows a lot about talent. And I'm here to give out the Best Actor and or Actress Award. The artists who played the 5 disparate characters in their films this year faced their challenges with skill, faith, and intelligence. Who writes this stuff? For the best performance by an actor or actress in a leading role. Well, it wouldn't be a following role, would it? The nominees are duct tape? Excuse me. The nominees are Bill Weiss in Snoopy Messes with the Italian. Joyce Elmore in The Queen Who Kissed Off California. You have to be really careful how you say it, but I saw her in that instance. J.R. Alkire in If This Is Tuesday, It Must Be Utah. Dory Werner in Julia Child Deglazes the French Croissant. I missed that one. And Nick Hopner in They Shoot Editors. They shoot former editors, don't they? And the Goldie goes to Nick Hopner in They Shoot Former Editors, don't they?
Wow, I'm so surprised. I never expected this. Just a few little cheat sheets. And for a guy who grew up in upstate New York, and nobody who amounts to anything comes from upstate New York, thank you so much for this. I don't know where he is in the house, but I gotta say I'm completely indebted to Paul Hildebrand, who directed my efforts throughout this picture, and who had such a great love for this character. I played, and that love is what he communicated to me every day, and so I thank you, Paul, for that. I thank Randall and Janet Drake for writing such an improbable, complicated, interesting, and frantic character of an editor who would be any actor's dream part. That part was so great. Of course, there were times when I almost believed the stuff I wrote myself. And I want to thank my producer and Rich Fuller, my co-star in this. Rich. He makes everything such a pleasure for me, and I thank the wonderful support of the cast and crew, of course. Don't forget to check your tire pressure, guys. It's all about the hot air, you know. I also want to thank Rich and John and Noah from Colorado Springs, Colorado Springs, for proving that U-turns can be adventurous. And I want to thank my agent, Sherry Howell, who against the advice of her grouchy old husband, Kenny, urged me to do this part and actually threatened me if I didn't do it because I didn't want to do the part for some reason, not maybe because of the naval references, I mean Navy references, not naval references. And thanks to Lisa Capano and the old rusty Mustang Ranch for their generous support of me. Thank you. Ladies, it was a ball. If you'll indulge me for a minute, I'm just not used to this, so I had to write it all down. I had this thought, before I ever got up here, if I would say it, I've been so lucky and I found the desire for what I do early in my life, and I'm lucky, well, maybe except for that deer I hit in New Mexico and the oil tanker that nearly ran over me in West Texas, because I found fellow writers who encouraged that desire to ride and write and learn as much as I could about greasy chicken fried steak and bad coffee and cheap diners. And from Pete Woodruff down to my good friend and mentor Craig White and all the parking lot trainers like Ace Peterson and all those Annie kissers I've been fortunate enough to suck wind with. And of course, thanks Mom and Dad for my start. Ooh. And thanks to Aunt Louise and Uncle Boopsie. Yeah, my bill is in the mail already. Now recently a young boy came up to me. I was at a function for refugees in upstate New York, which is where I'm from, and he said that I had encouraged him, and that's not necessarily by my work, but just by the fact that we came from the same place. And anyway, I got it. Thanks, guys.
Sure.
We have to ask the audience if you would like one encore. But you have to turn off the video camera. It may be politically incorrect. And we are apolitical here, so we're not going to get into politics. However, you people are just too damn stuffy right now to go have ice cream. So to heck with it. We're gonna do it. And Judy, it just peed her pants. She refused to bring Carl's copy of it. And I made one. So, if you don't like it, tough toenails took. As they say in the military, soak it up, buttercup. I can do that part. Okay, then
Today.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so now, y'all are aware there are over 873,000 people come off the unemployment line when there are a little over 114,000 jobs created. Luckily, we have found a transcript of a conversation between two eminent economists discussing this very question. Here we go, the recent unemployment report explained.
Of course, I'm Clay Costello, and this is Abbott.
Abbott.
I want to talk to you about the unemployment rate in America.
Good subject. Terrible times, 7.8%.
That many people are out of work?
No, that's 14.7%.
You just said 7.8%.
Yes, 7.8% unemployed.
Right, 7.8 out of work.
No, that's 14.7%.
Okay, it's 17.7% unemployed.
No, that's still 7.8.
Wait a minute. Is it 7.8% or is it 14.7?
It's 7.8% unemployed, but 14.7% are out of work. Keeping up with this?
If you were out of work, you're unemployed.
No. Obama said you can't count the out of work as the unemployed. You have to look for work to be unemployed.
But they're out of work.
No, you missed the point.
What point?
Someone who doesn't look for work can't be counted for those who look for work. It wouldn't be fair.
To whom?
The unemployed.
But all of them are out of work.
No, the unemployed are actively looking for work. Those who are out of work gave up looking, and if you give up looking, you are no longer in the ranks of the unemployed.
So if you're off the unemployment rolls, that would count as less unemployment.
Unemployment would go down, absolutely.
The unemployment just goes down because you don't look for work?
Absolutely, it goes down. That's how the current administration gets 7.8%. Otherwise, it would be 14.7%. The government doesn't want you to read about 14.7.
That would be tough for those running for re-election.
Absolutely.
Wait, I got a question for you. That means there are two ways to bring down unemployment number.
Two ways is correct.
Unemployment can go down if someone gets a job.
Correct.
And unemployment can go down if you stop looking for a job.
Bingo.
So, there are two ways to bring unemployment down. The easier of the two is to have the administration supporters stop looking for work.
Now you're thinking like the economies are.
I don't know what the hell I just said.
Now you're thinking like Obama. Am I fired?
Oh, I see. Okay, so I'm guessing we're probably not only done, but we're probably finished. Thanks to my good partner here, Mike. And thank you all tonight for putting up with all of us. We had a good time. We hope you